How do we avoid procrastination?
People don't take it seriously as a dire problem, but it can be. It can ruin your life. If you write 2 pages a week, you write a book every 2 years, you're a prolific writer, right? And the difference between, it's not that person's working so hard, it's that they have the ability to, when they commit to something, like on Sunday mornings, I'm going to write 2 pages. That's it. They respect, they respect the part of them that made that decision is a respected character in their brain. And they say, well, I decided it, so I'm going to do it. Procrastinator won't do those 2 pages. That's just exactly the kind of thing the procrastinator will keep on their list and they will not do. But it doesn't mean they're any less talented than the writer who does the 2 pages. Doesn't mean they want it any less. Maybe they want it even more. And it doesn't mean that they wouldn't be just as happy having done it as the writer who does it. So what they're missing out on, picture a writer who writes 10 books, bestsellers, and they go on these book tours, and they're so gratified with their career, and they think about what the other person is missing who does none of that, right? So that is a massive loss, and it's because the internal mechanism in their brain is not doing what the other person's is. So they don't have the respect for the part of them that made the choice. They feel like it's someone they can disregard. And so to me, it's in the same boat as someone who is obese because their eating habits make them obese over time, or their exercise habits. That's a huge loss for that person. That person is the health problems, and it's just probably making them miserable. And it's self-inflicted, right? It's self-defeating, but that doesn't make it an easy problem to fix just because you're doing it to yourself. So to me, procrastination is another one of these where you are the only person in your own way. You are you are failing at something or not doing something that you really want to do. It doesn't have to be work. Maybe you want to get out of that marriage that you realize it hits you, you shouldn't be in this marriage. You should get divorced. And you wait 20 extra years before you do it, or you don't do it at all. You're not living the life that you should be living, right? And so I think it's fascinating. Now, the problem is it's also a funny problem because there's short-term procrastination, which I talk about as, the kind that has a deadline. Now, some people, this is when I bring in there's different characters. There's the panic monster comes in the room, and that's when you actually the procrastinator can. There's different levels. There's the kind that even when there's a deadline, they stop panicking. They've given up, and they really have a problem. Then there's the kind that when there's a deadline, they'll do it, but they'll wait to the last second. Both of those people, I think, have a huge problem once there's no deadline. And most of the important things in life, there's no deadline, which is, changing your career, becoming a writer when you never have been before, getting out of your relationship, when the big change that you should be making, that would completely change your life if you just did it, has no deadline. It just has to be coming from yourself. And I think that a ton of people have a problem where they think this delusion that, I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to do that, but not this week, not this month, not today, because whatever. And they make this excuse again and again, and it just sits there on their list collecting dust. And so, to me, it is a very real suffering. Here's what I know what I should do as a writer, right? It's very obvious to me, is that I should wake up. It's a great time to write. You're fresh, right? Your ideas from dreaming have kind of collected. You have all new answers that you didn't have yesterday, and you can just go. But more importantly, if I just had a routine where I wrote from 9 to noon, weekdays, every week would have a minimum of 15 focused hours of writing, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. 15, no, this is no joke. This is, your phone's away. You're not talking to anyone. You're not opening your email. You are focused writing for 3 hours, 5. That's a big week for most writers. The thing about procrastination is usually they're not kicking and screaming, I don't want to do this. It's the feeling of, in the old days when you had to go to class, your lunch block is over and it's like, oh shit, I have class in 5 minutes. Or it's Monday morning, you go, you have a trainer and he says, okay, next set. And you go, oh, okay. And you do it. That's all it is. It's some external thing being like, okay, I have to do this. And then you have that moment of like, this sucks, but I guess I'll do it. If no one's there though, the problem with the procrastinator is they don't have that person in their head. I'm still trying to, what is going on? I'm being a natural human that we are not programmed to sit there and do homework of a certain kind that we get the results like 6 months later. Like that is not, so we're supposed to conserve energy and like fulfill our needs as we need them and like do immediate things. And we're overriding our natural ways when we wake up and get to it. It's actually worse because they feel shame. So if they don't get up and take a jog and get up early and get to work, I'll feel like a bad person. And that is worse than doing those things. And then it becomes a habit eventually, and it becomes just easy, automatic. It becomes, I do it because that's what I do.